Hi. So I realized that since I returned to making content again, I gained about 100 followers this year. And I just wanted to come on here and say thank you for the follow. There's a number of reasons why I started creating content. One is that a number of years ago, I was working at a project that worked with pregnant women who were newly diagnosed with HIV, or women who have been living with HIV. I think it was more than 2 years and above, and dealing with the socioeconomic aspects around HIV, stigma, internalized stigma, the experiences as a mother or an expectant mother after finding out the status. And there I learned the importance of talking publicly, either declaring your status or at least telling someone you trust regarding your HIV status. Actually disclosing your status helps in accepting, the process of accepting, helps in being able to take medication, and so forth. Because as you would know, at the time when HIV, it just started out as an epidemic, there were a lot of misinformation. There was a lot of, therefore, stigma attached to it. And so importance of talking for me was definitely a virtue that I learned while working at that particular project. And then another reason why I started creating content was because I knew that there were a particular group of people or various categories of people I needed to disclose to. And I worried about gossip. And I was like, you know what? I want to tell my story from my own perspective, create my own narrative around my experiences. And I wanted to make sure that, therefore, I own my story because I knew that a variety of categories of people will be checking out that content. And rather than, with the word of mouth or gossip, what would drive would be the narrative that I create. Even though at the end of the day, how people perceive why you're creating content or strongly held views about why you are sick with particular types of illnesses is completely up to people. But at least I will own that narrative around being diagnosed and what it means for me and my life. And then another reason why I also started creating content was I also wanted to just demystify, issues surrounding autoimmune disorders. Because, like I said, so many people have strongly held views about sicknesses in general and chronic illnesses. Some people believe that either you're bewitched. Some people say if you pray and have faith, it will definitely go away. Some people believe that if you do 1, 2, 3, you will definitely be healed. There is absolutely no need for you to be sick. There's all sorts of beliefs around it. Some of them I covered them in the earlier videos that I've done. And I was like, you know what? It's important that I express myself in terms of what I think are the best ways to deal with my illnesses. And I actually have a content plan written down, of what I want to do and how I want to approach it. So, it's a planned out thing that I'm trying to do, and demystifying, therefore, the experiences and impact of chronic illnesses, and specifically of those that I have been diagnosed with, was an important issue for me as well. Because a lot of the times I will come across people who say, yeah, what type of arthritis? I've never heard of this. I didn't even know there was that particular type of arthritis. I found out about it when I was diagnosed as well, and learned as time went on that there are other types of, arthritis out there. And, the also the concept of autoimmune disorders. And we all have our opinions about what it means, where they might come from, and, what why one has them, and wara. But I wanted to keep my voice about continually learning and relearning how to live anew in this newly acquired body. The reason why I started creating content is because I'm naturally an extrovert. And after I got diagnosed, I mean, I was pushed in isolation because of, I've said before, living in a revolving door of pain, fatigue, and falling ill. Naturally, 90% of the time I'm at home. And it was luckily during COVID that I got diagnosed. I mean, the COVID lockdowns that I got diagnosed. And not only was I facing the frustration like so many people, being limited about where you can go and, how you can interact, whether you can interact, what time you can interact, and so forth. And then being diagnosed as well, I had pent up frustration. As someone who enjoys being around people, gets energy from interacting with people. So yeah, that became a huge thing, because now I'm no longer being out there as much as I used to, and that added frustration for me. So being able to interact with people online became an important aspect for me to be able to release that extrovert energy. I know that one can't completely tell someone's personality based on 30-second videos and 5-minute videos. There's some people who know me in real life who will tell you how much of a very physically active person I was, and how this drastically changed my life. Is it 360? I always forget, or 180-degree turn on my life, and I needed that venting space. So that's another reason. So yeah, another reason is to create content, to really put forward some of the aspects, life experiences, marginalization, experiences of persons with disabilities, and help show the intersection between disabilities and chronic illnesses. And I hope that also comes across. So, I'm someone who is, like I said, I'm showcasing. So, I'm showcasing different aspects or focusing in, zooming in on a particular aspect about my life. So when I come on here and, like I said, you look through my page, some people might find it too heavy or too what. That's just one aspect of me. And different people know me differently. You know how it is in life, right? I'm a very loud person, might not come across on this channel, this page. I'm very vibrant. Sometimes it doesn't show on my face because the illnesses, like I've said, they will impact me so much that, I look like I'm exhausted or I'm drained. Sometimes I forget and I get a brain fog, forgetting things that I want to say. So you're just getting one aspect. And my content is very intentional. So I'm both. I can be very dark, but I'm also very comedic. I don't know if you've caught that. But yeah, it's what I showcase on my account. It's exactly that. You're not getting the full picture, but it is something that I want to particularly touch on. It might feel heavy, like I said, if you were to look through my page. But I do try. There's a plan behind it all. But once again, thank you so much for the follow. And these are some of the reasons why I started, core reasons why I started creating content. All right. Thanks.